Hey, I'm Rob for JestaThaRogue, and this is a Fave 5 where I list my favourite 5 things of a certain subject. This time I'll look at my favourite games from 2015. Now 2015 was a great year for board games. Now that year was Pandemic Legacy, there was Seven Wonders Duel, and there was Codenames. If you want my opinions on those games, check out my top 10 overrated games list. Now personally for me, in 2015 my job was sucking the life out of me, and I was a bit of a dick throughout all of 2015 and 2016 and the first half of 2017, a bit of 2019 and everything up to 2011, but apart from that, I'm a nice guy. But personally, board game wise, it was very, very good. Some of my favourite games of all time have come out in that year. I could have easily done a top 20 games and not been disappointed with anything I would included. It was difficult to get down to a top 10, never mind a top 5. So let's get started. Oh, just one thing. They are listed as 2015 in Board Game Geek, so whether it came out in 2015 or not, it's nothing to do with me. My hands are clean.
Number 5.
This is the second smallest game on this list, Game of Trains. Here you start with a train with your train cars. They are numbered highest to lowest, so you need to switch them and swap them out so they are numbered lowest to highest. The first person to do that will win the game. Now the fact that it's a train doesn't really mean anything. It could have been anything. It could have been game of, all I can think of is Thrones now. But it's a good fun game. Swapping those cars out with the ones you have in play is really good, but when you use those action cards really well, that's the key to winning, and that's something I really enjoy. And you also need to keep an eye out on your opponents, because you don't want to put an action card in the middle of the table that they can use to benefit them, maybe even win the game. I have done a how to play video for this game as well, so check that out. And it does play up to 4 players, so you do have 4 trains on the table, and they're not going to hit each other. They can hear each other coming using their engine ears.
Number 4.
2015 saw the original version of The Grizzled, and this is a game where you're trying to survive the trenches in World War I, but it's not about combat, it's all about your mental ability to cope with everything that's going on. For example, maybe you can handle 1 night of rain, maybe 2 nights of rain, but 3, it's going to get too much for you. Especially when you've got to put into account the fear of bombs, gas attacks, and of course bullets there, you're always going to be on edge, it's just going to be tough. And this is represented in the game by people having to play these cards, and these cards have different weather types and different symbols on. If you get 3 of the same weather or the same symbol, then that's going to end the round. That's going to make the next round more difficult if it's ended sooner than it really needs to be. Again, to show the mental breaks that these people will be getting in the trenches, you have these hard knock cards which will force you to do things you don't want to do, things that will affect the game negatively for you. I mean, sure, if things get too tough for you, you can go for a coffee and drop out of the round, but while you're doing that, you're not helping out on the front line, which makes things, again, much more difficult. This is a brilliant co-op game.
Number 3.
Now, Karuba is my favourite of the bingo style games. It's all about finding temples and picking up gems. Each turn, everybody's going to be given the same tile, and they're going to use that in a different way. They're either going to put it on their map in order to create a path, or they're going to discard it in order to move an adventurer, and those adventurers can move towards temples, or they can stop to pick up gems. So the decision is there, do you push them forward and try and get to those temples first? The sooner you get to a temple, the more points it's going to be worth. Or do you stop and collect those gems on your way? Those gems are also going to be worth points. So you're constantly looking at all the other players, seeing where they're going so you know whether you can push or whether you can hold back. This is a very, very nice game. Even though it is very simple, I have done a how to play video, so you can check that out if you like. I have 2 copies in my box, so up to 8 players can be adventurers trying to find lost temples. Speaking of adventurers searching for lost temples, what is Indiana Jones' least favourite band? The Rolling Stones.
Number 2.
This is the heaviest game on my list and my favourite game by Alexander Pfister, Mombasa. This game has a brilliant hand management / deck building mechanism for handling cards and actions. There's loads you can do with those actions as well. There's stuff all over the board and you've got to do all of it, and it's great. There's not really much more to say about it. It's really one of those games, if you don't know anything about it, you should really go and check out a proper full video review of it just to see what's going on, because there's loads of bits all around the board, all happening at the same time. I've done a how to play video for that as well, so check that out.
And now, number 1.
2015 is the year of my favourite version of one of my favourite games, Love Letter Batman. This is basically Love Letter with a twist, where Batman is a guard. If you use Batman to knock an opponent out and they're holding a villain card, you gain an extra point. That's brilliant. It's also got Harley Quinn. Batman, of course, as you know, lives in Gotham City, but he can't live out in the countryside. There's already too many Dark Knights. So there you go, that is my list of my favourite 5 games from 2015. Let me know what your favourite game from 2015 is in the comments below. Remember to like, share and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter and Insta at JTR Podcast, to find the blog at jtrpodcast.com. I've been Rob, aka JestaThaRogue. See you soon.